5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Team Secret's turn to ban. OG's turn to ban. Team Secret's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining.
First time is always a little bit of black screen, but there we go,
5
guys. We
seconds
are
remaining.
back. I'm back. Casting the SLI League Invitational. This is going to be the last.
Turn to pick.
Dude, these are two absolute juggernauts
10
of
seconds
teams, but
remaining.
Secret are looking pretty sharp.
5 seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to pick.
Earth Spirit.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to pick.
Chen.
OG's turn to pick.
Necrophos.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to ban.
A team who actually plays that hero,
OG's turn
and
to
a lot
ban.
first pick at that. And would you gonna follow up with Earthspin and Batrider? Batrider particularly is great against both Shen and Necrophos, so I'm pretty happy about that pick. Shen has like kind of a pseudo counter to Batrider though with the sandbag, but it's like
10
out of all
seconds
the
remaining.
counters to Batrider, it's like the most unreliable one.
5 seconds remaining.
So I don't think it's a big issue when if you pick bad into that, you're not gonna be like, oh well, they can send people home. It doesn't. It's very rare that you actually get it off a Shen. And Earth Spirit, I mean, you have your racks, so there's no problem picking that. And Necrophos, I think, is fine as well. And particularly, I want to talk about Ace a little bit because this player, I think, in my opinion, has been, so to say, best player in the world that has not been on a tier 1 team for quite some time as well. I think he's been the best carry for at least a year outside the tier 1 teams. And he didn't get picked up by anyone, which was a huge surprise for me for a long time. And now he's playing for Secret, and he's really showing like that he is that good, if not better.
He was on a team with Crit, right? Like way back when, and
Yeah, a
Crit
long time
got-
ago when the
Crit
Danish
got picked up, and those teams those I don't really remember what team it was, but those teams
10
that existed with
seconds
Ace and
remaining.
Crit and whatnot, like limited success, but
OG's turn to
for
ban.
sure it just seems like you just need the right player and the right set of other players, and you could just get so much more accomplished. As it is kind of hard to bust out by yourself if your team as a whole is not going to succeed. Like, can people in general
10
really tell
seconds remaining.
the skill difference? If you have a really talented eye, if you're a captain, yes you can, but
5
for the most
seconds
part,
remaining.
as far as like appealing to the fans, appealing to like sponsors, it's going to be a little more difficult. So, and we'll see what Ace is going to be able to do in this game right now. For right now, though, it's going to be the Pugna and the AA banned out alongside that Nature's Prophet. So a little bit of push being taken out of the pool as Team Secret with that Chen. Used to be just a get the hero, push towers type hero, and you still can do that, but a little bit more of a late game kind of backup scenario for sure nowadays. If you do pick up that Chen.
And he's been going Midas rush as well on Ishan, so it's definitely not like laning into like mid-game push strat. It's definitely more versatile than that nowadays.
OG's turn to
And they banned some anti-push though, and they're gonna pick up the Rubik, which is, in my opinion, probably the best hero to go with Chen. And it used to be like Shadow Demon or Rubik. I like a lot with Chen, but Shadow Demon is not the hero it once was. So now Rubik is definitely the king, in my
10
opinion, to
seconds
match with
remaining.
Chen. Both as like you can roam together very
5
well,
seconds
which
remaining.
happens sometimes, but generally just Rubik can set up for Shen in lane, but he's also strong enough in lane alone. So I like that pick a lot. I think it's the best pick for Secret. As a third pick, you want to pick a core or like a hero that, if you pick a core, you want it to be able to play a support, or you go something like a Rubik. So I like that a lot. And OG has used a lot of their time already. They are down to less than 50 seconds in the reserve time, which is pretty worrisome already at the third pick. So unless they kind of made a plan already, or making a plan with this pick, they're gonna be hard pressed on time for the last two picks.
Bat Rider has a couple of answers already. Team Secret side, as you mentioned, that Chen is a little bit clunky, but now the Rubik as well. Another response is OG will grab their kind of Rubik type hero as well in that Witch Doctor. So positions, 5 positions, all sealed up right now. Witch Doctor, of course, is a hero that generally gets a little bit better.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
A decent Rubik, medium. I think he's okay. But
OG's turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5
it's
seconds
very common
remaining.
to see that fifth box being picked up for the mid lane player / hero or whatever. And just as far as Lifestealer is concerned right now, isn't going to have a lot of mobility with his team. Like, we're not really going to hop into a Chen creep, although that would be certainly unexpected. The Lifestealer just has a pretty good matchup up against the Bat Rider, and of course with that Rubik displacement with the telekinesis. Napalm stacks won't really be easy to stick onto this Lifestealer, so just mostly picking up for matchups, I would say. And OG now have a pretty clean pick of their own. Picking up the Terrorblade is something that they do all the time, pretty much no exceptions, but
Classic.
it's also just a really good hero to have versus Lifestealer.
Yeah, especially against Lifestealer, it's very good. And I mean, it's a classic OG hero, right? They've always played illusion-based heroes a lot if they can, and they're gonna stick to that. It hasn't been very successful lately to run illusion-based strategies, and I do think it could be a weakness. Like I said, I think they might want to do like Necro offlane and have like a very aggressive Shen, and it seems like a Terrorblade could have a weakness there. And I think it could have trouble against Necrophos, he's only right clicker, but Necrophos has Go Shot as well, potentially. I think it could be a bit of trouble, but I'm pretty sure they can run that mid as well. I think they can swap the lanes. OG has generally always been I think the team that consistently have had both carry and mid swap more than most teams, as Notail played a lot of mid heroes. for quite some time, honestly, and did not have the most time to think about it. So, but they could mess with Secret a little bit. But Secret has so much reserve time. Even if they get surprised, they're gonna have time to think about it.
Like OG, perhaps the only weakness that Secret can
10
really
seconds
exploit
remaining.
is maybe OG's lack of AoE, which is a little bit on the low
5
side, coming out
seconds
mostly of
remaining.
just Bat Rider and Earth Spirit.
Secrets
There's
turn
not really many
to
heroes that can truly punish that, and well, not anymore. Lina, the pick for OG, should really secure the Terrorblade safe lane. Lina should be going towards that mid lane as we have Death Prophet, Ember Spirit, both gonna get banned out. Not many heroes for Secret that will have
10
a lot of
seconds
mobility
remaining.
for the Lifestealer, and also will have a good matchup up against that Lina.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know if you want to run like a mid lane Mirana, it's not the best, but it will give you like a little bit of both. Queen of Pain has a little bit of both, and she's still in the pool as well. They certainly do have their options for that combo.
Invoker.
Choose your hero.
It is going to be a mid one Invoker, then we are, yes, going to be in for a treat. They're going to kind of leave this Lifestealer out to dry. Again, no real ease of access here for the Lifestealer, and kind of tough matchups, even if he did have them. Just trying to kill off a Terrorblade as Lifestealer takes so long. And because it does take so long, the odds of him getting off that Sunder just going to increase. But this is going to kind of combo up a little bit better in the early game here for Team Secret. Rubik and Chen, again, should be landing these stun combos most of the time, and the stun combos could definitely use a killing blow, and Sunstrike certainly seems like a
10
not
seconds
terrible one to
remaining.
have. So, yeah, for Team Secret, they definitely have a lot
5
going for them,
seconds
but it is
remaining.
kind of a little bit of a question of how much this Rubik and Chen are able to get done, because mid one may be an Invoker God, but Jerax is pretty good on that Earth Spirit, and Resolution can very easily pile in damage if the roll-in is going to land.
Yeah, they definitely have the potential to destroy this Invoker. Poppy on the Shen. Shen is not a good reactive hero. He kind of has to like set up before if he wants to counter anything. But so I'm a bit worried about mid one in particular, that he's gonna have a hard game. So I think that's gonna matter a lot at the start of this game, especially in the mid lane. But other than that, it's gonna be proper rotations and responses to proper rotations. I mean, every game is like that, you know, it's the fours versus each other, and who can win the early game is generally what most game comes down to. And this game is very different because there's a Shen on one side, which is not common.
Prepare
Usually
for
it's
battle.
two roamers, you know, like a Clockwork versus Earth Spirit, or, you know, Spirit Breaker versus Shaker. Stuff like that is the most common. So, well, let's see if Jirax is kinda knows how to handle Shen instead.
It is definitely much different going up against that Shen. He will roll out, he'll be fine. He'll be spotted, of course. But yeah, just trying to roll in towards another 4 position here. We're trying to battle them as Earth Spirits. Usually going to be reasonable, but up against Chen, you're going to have to be going to a scenario constantly where you're just kind of racing against his creeps, and it's very easy to underestimate how much damage those creeps are actually able to do. Earth Spirit's fairly bulky, but as long as Puppy has a creep with him, then he should be, for the most part, safe. If he is going to go down, we'll make you pay for it with a lot of right clicks back towards you. But looking at Secret now, as they do load out into their lanes, it looks like it's going to be pretty much exactly what you would expect. And for OG, it looks like it maybe exactly, well, not quite what you would expect. Batrider S4 is going to go towards the safe lane as they do send No Tail, or think about sending No Tail down to the bottom lane, where Metamorphosis, yeah, is going to be really hard for him to deal with, but this is going to make him much easier to gank by the Chen.
I think these are like trying to mind game each other. I do think this is the favorable matchup for OG though, having Bat versus Neko and having Terrorblade against Knight. That's the dream scenario in laning, in my opinion. Then it's gonna be a bit worrisome that your Terrorblade is offlane though, but this is what you want to have happen as OG. These are the hero matchups you want for sure. So I think that could be a great benefit for them, and I think it's gonna be somewhat hard for Shen to kind of make up for that. And G-Rex are gonna start with just blocking camps, and Resolution is gonna have a pretty good matchup mid, if not a very favorable matchup in my opinion. I really like OG's laning, it's very strong.
The Yapzor not really able to touch this lane. If he gets close, he will take so much damage, and Ace is struggling as well. So, yeah, the Chen, of course, needs time to get those creeps up. And as you said, like, typically goes for a little extra farming. You'll run into Jerax and really put the hurt on that Earth Spirit. But, yeah, as far as applying pressure back to No Tail, Lifestealer is, again, not the hero you want if you're going to try to kill off a Terrorblade. Lots of armor, low health, so Feast doesn't really do all that much, and your right clicks will be not doing all that much either, so No Tail should be pretty comfortable here. Again, as long as he keeps his eyes open, as long as Fly is kind of waiting out in the wings to spot an incoming Chen, they could actually even do this, just smack Yapzor around.
Oh, No Tail is very far away.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too far.
He has a
The
TP.
creep is coming around from the side, and they will have a clap. That's going to do a lot of damage,
play.
but he will be able to teleport. Actually
that's
goes
a
all the
good
way
play.
back to the fountain.
Yeah, he lost too much. I thought it was a mistake to keep back to Fountain, but then I realized it's like he went down to 10 HP, so I think it's good. But that was a really good move from Secret. This is gonna be maybe happening a lot in the early first maybe 6 minutes, where Jerax is looking to kill, for example, mid one, and it could have happened. I saw mid one was getting pretty low, but he stabbed up. But Shen Puppy decided to rotate bottom, which ended up in getting a kill. And S4 on top lane. Oh, what a nice play.
Keep himself alive. Jerax was in the right place at the right time. Boss, I mean, he's going for a pure standard Necrophos build against Batrider. Already had, I think, the wand at the time. But this hero is slow. This hero is really slow. And even when he gets his boots, he's not really going to be all that quick. Couple napalm stacks now. The slow's coming out from the Earth Spirit. This is going to be a more difficult lane for the Necrophos here. Like, yeah, you'll be fueling his stick, but you could just so easily kill the Necrophos. And Ghost Shroud, it may get him, like, back up to full or full-ish HP, but if he does Ghost Shroud, Firefly with napalm is just going to destroy him.
Yeah, I mean, both force had nice rotations, just that No Tail managed to TP out. But he lost a lot of time. Meanwhile, Jerax managed to get a first blood for his Batrider. Oh, I mean, he actually got it, so that's pretty nice for him. But generally, won it on the Batrider, of course. But Vada is probably gonna be pretty scared, because now with a small level advantage on Batrider, it's gonna be a lot easier to actually kill Vada now, even alone. And then it makes Jerax able to rotate on the other lanes a lot easier and feels better about it. So gotta be careful there. But mid one is looking pretty good in mid lane, honestly. I think it's doing a little bit better than I expected. That was a nice setup.
Oh, Resolution is gonna have backup here.
What a great play
Jerax
from Puppy.
is smoked up right behind him. They did have a Sunstrike, wouldn't have quite been enough. Yeah, Puppy threw a boulder earlier, broke his Golem in two, and then threw a couple more boulders, and that just does a lot of damage, man. Like, it's very easy to underestimate the damage that Creeps said earlier, specifically those Golems. You get so many boulders thrown at you. With the cold snap as well, makes it a little more painful, but you're on a good angle on
Fly
the bottom lane. This hero does not have a lot of armor. He
has
easy to
nothing
take down,
on him.
and he will be going down. No Tail is just gonna watch. He'll pop Metamorphosis, put a little bit of damage back onto Ace, but overall, that's a little bit of a mispositioned Witch Doctor that's very quickly punished.
Yeah, I think bottom lane is going better than expected for Secret. The other lanes are doing pretty okay. I think mid one is doing a little bit better than I expected. But Puppy has been very good on sending summons mid and pushing a little bit, but he's still doing fine for himself as well, which is just what an experienced Shen player does, you know. Most players wouldn't be able to be this efficient. Are they going for some weird smoke play? Or are they waiting for the shrine? Yeah, they're just waiting for the shrine, never mind.
They would have been spotted anyway if it was a really crazy smoke play. Now that would have been a curveball. It's like, hey, we're doing okay in this lane. Let's leave and smoke with our level 4 lifestealer. They'll never expect it. You know, the element of surprise is a powerful thing, and Ace is actually just going straight
okay.
to the lane. But he's like spotted by so many dire observer wards, so this is like, I mean,
this seems like a waste of time. Oh, he's taking top. He's like, if I can't gank mid, I'm gonna gank top. And if Bada was 6, this would actually be possible. Are they baiting? They're just baiting actually. But I think Bada might just dive it up well.
S4 is not that healthy right now.
Oh, nice silence. Oh, what a silence.
He's diving in with the phase boots, and they will gank the Bat Rider with Lifestealer. Yes, that sentence was just said. Bottom lane in the meantime is going to be given over to YapzOr, so you know this type of rotation, we don't really see it all that early, but we do see it quite often. If a core has any sort of gank power, any sort of jungling power, they will be willing to leave the lane and give the lane over to someone who could use it, a Venomancer or Rubik, something along those lines. Of course, you know, support Venomancer way back when used to be done all the time, but yeah, Rubik gunning for that level 6, specifically a YapzOr Rubik. It is fine as long as they keep Ace farming, and it seems like he'll actually just stay on this top lane, so he should be able to get some pretty decent farm.
I mean, that was so odd that I don't think OG expected it at all. It's so bizarre. Just watching what happened is bizarre, and then like, how are you gonna react to something like that? You know, you're not expecting that at all.
Oh, and now Fada, he teleported down to this bottom lane. He has that sight. The Necrophos has a lot of magic damage. They'll miss the plat. They will land a shockwave, and they will definitely land the sight, killing off No Tail. Man, you never expect these type of rotations. Like to have that Lifestealer go top, and then to have Fada kind of switch places with him afterwards. They'll nail the Terrorblade down to the floor. Fada, though, is going to be a little bit in the front lines. His cask is going to be thrown out, but Chen Creeps buffering him so easily. They lift up Jerax out of his role, and Fada 5 stacks Napalm, no big deal. We get the last hit with the level 3 Death Pulse regen. We'll be just fine. So it's going to be more kills for Secret on this bottom lane, while at the same time not costing Ace a thing.
Yeah, and mid one almost solo killed Resolution. If he had a high ground ward, he would have killed Resolution right there. So they're doing very well now. Even though Resolution is keeping up in farm, they are definitely dominating this early laning stage. And it looks like Puppy is gonna go the green mode again with a Midas. He has just picked up the Glove of Haste so far. Could still be a Helm of Dominator, but I don't know if he has gone it Midas every time. But really unorthodox rotations that's been really good for Secret.
This is kind of just what a Chen lets you do. Like the amount of power you get in the early game is usually just going to be getting kills when Chen ganks and also taking down towers. That's like, it's always been like the two things that Chen does. Very early on, get a couple creeps, kill someone, take their tower, rinse, repeat forever. But to make those rotations as well with a Necrophos, with a Lifestealer, and like, yeah, they may be unexpected, but I mean, just looking at it, it makes complete sense. It's like, well, it's Necrophos, he has a Scythe. Are you really going to stick around and scythe the no heroes up on this top lane? No, you're going to go and look for the Terrorblade, the hero that is, you know, covered with armor, which doesn't help him versus this magic damage. You're going to make that play every single time. And then, you know, being able to get Jerax is kind of just an extra bonus there, but this Chen for sure is kind of enabling Secret to just bully their way into these lanes that otherwise, if you just make that rotation with Fada and like an Earthshaker, like, you don't get enough done there. You don't have enough damage.
No, it's been pretty smart, you know. It's kind of it was unorthodox, but it's simple and it's actually good. Very nice. But now OGs kind of have a big problem where all their 3 cores need a lot of farm, which is true for Secret as well. But Secret has a good early game, and they're looking to get that. But OG is struggling now. Terrorblade is gonna TP to top lane, but I mean, it's a pretty safe lane right now. But it's still like, will he lane against this Lifestealer good? He has to use meta, most likely, to farm well against a Lifestealer lane right now. and you know, you can't just go around spending metas every now and then to just farm creeps. And mid tower could be pressured by mid one if resolution leaves, and also he's gonna have to play scared because if Baku rotates in, he could also die and the tower gets pressured. And OG are so underfarmed right now that it's gonna be hard for them to respond properly. If Lai was like level 5 now, Shenkris would have a lot of trouble diving anything, but he's still only level 3, and it could be pretty hard the next few minutes for OG because they are in a rough spot right now. Especially, I think Batrider is not where he wants to be at all.
It seems like OG are also kind of bound by their cooldowns. At least for this Terrorblade, he is not going to be able to make any super aggressive plays, especially up against a Lifestealer who's gunning for that level 6 mark, which is almost certainly going to keep him, maybe not completely alive, but at least a very difficult hero to kill off. Lifestealer, though, with that rotation from bottom to top, net worth-wise, is still not looking all that hot compared to the Terrorblade, who just got a lot of extra CS above him. So Ace, though he did get that successful gank off on the Batrider, he does have phase boots, is still not quite mega farmed. He is going to have to lean on his allies a little bit, but really that's where this mid lane scenario comes into play. It's been rather quiet considering there's an Earth Spirit and a Chen on the field. Not that much action going in for mid one or against mid one, but he's gunning for that Midas, and he is outlaning resolution just slightly, but it's just a matter of time, I feel, before Yapzor and Puppy start setting up for actual mid one kills. Gotta get that Sunstrike going.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was distracted. They were writing in the minimap. It was pretty creative.
That's creative. Mid one is. There we go. Erase it. Erase it.
Oh.
Hide your shame. Come on, mid one. This is a PG stream. We don't curse here. No bad words.
Okay, we're looking to go. Yeah, that's good. Finally, feels like it's been quite some time, but it was probably only a few minutes. A classic EU pause, not the 20 minutes American pauses that I've experienced.
Yeah, that shit's not fun, man. It's definitely not fun. There's only so much you can talk about, but Chen at this point, level 4, does have two of the better creeps to have as far as killing off Terrorblade is concerned. Oh no, you'll never expect this. The ganking Lifestealer in the mid lane with the Sunstrike. Resolution just trying to get out an LSA. He's still cold snapped though.
Oh, he's
messes up one of those attacks, and he's actually gonna survive because he lands that LSA onto mid one. Yeah, there's an America's pause for you right there. But yeah, Ace just has a free lane farm top lane. He just doesn't want to though. He just wants to go kill people.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a bit a problem for him now. Like, these rotations are great if he gets a kill, but if he doesn't, he loses quite a lot. But I think he's kind of accepted his role this game, where he's not gonna be the carry. Mid one is gonna be the carry, and even Fata could be the second in net worth above him. I don't think he has a problem with that because he is countered by OG. Like, OG's lineup is kind of made to counter him mainly. So he's like, well, if I'm not farmed, they're not countering the big heroes in our team, which is like a kind of it works both ways. If he was super farmed, they try to counter him, but he's just so farmed it doesn't matter. But I think he trusts his teammates now, and he doesn't only have to rely on Fata and mid one. He also relies on both the support players, I think, which is the very big thing, that he can definitely trust Poppy Shen and Yapso Rubik.
Looking at this Lifestealer build, it is pretty clear of where his intentions lie. Just open wounds is very rarely picked up because we don't really see Lifestealer go up against many heroes in lane. Like, the hero is usually just difficult to deal with in general. So he's able to go for his Feast passive and leave open wounds that turns just an emergency level 1 just to kind of break in case of emergency type spell, but opting now for 3 points of it. To get that initiation range off, it's really where it really relevantly scales open wounds. So, yeah, we'll see what Ace is able to do. He may want to join Puppy's gank squad. He just wants to be part of the gang. I get it now.
Oh, I was not paying attention, but Yapso did die. He got wrecked trying to pick up an inventory, which he did get though, to his credit. He did get it.
Sure that Lena's working with that empty bottle. Hellbear Smasher wandering in. Fly is gonna be spotted. Man, for OG, there's gonna be so many creatures wandering around the map. You're not sure which one of
I
them.
mean,
has
he
an
thinks it's a
surprise.
Shen creep. Like, I mean, if he's on point, he can know that it's not. But I don't think he will know. Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
He doesn't have mana for rage. He can't commit. Oh.
Oh, and now the Necrophos is gonna get rolled in on. Firefly on the deck, and Necrophos heals Ghost Shroud, but can't get his stick charges off in time before that Firefly tick comes in. And they'll kill off bot, actually ending a killing spree. This is a really cute playstyle by Ace, but just a little bit of a shortage of mana there is making that OG make a pretty easy rotation, now putting No Tail in this bottom lane. Doesn't quite yet have this Mask of Madness, but still his tower's gonna take an absolute beating, and a Lifestealer with this type of build, all alone, he cannot touch this lane. He's just gonna try to eke some experience out of here.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate for Ace. Kinda, he baited his teammate there. And will they be able to get the tower? Probably not with Farah arriving, but mid lane.
Roll in, plus a
good
stun.
play, yeah.
There is an LSA, but it's off the mark. Not gonna matter with the Laguna Blade, Dragon Slave, not quite enough damage. And now here comes the rotating Lifestealer. Ace is gonna get onto S4 with the open wounds and do like, 300 damage. Wow. But they will still save the Invoker. That's really all they were interested in doing. Now he has the Hand of Midas, and he actually can use it as soon as he gets back out on the map. And OG, I like these attempts. I'm not really sure if this is really the playstyle you want to be playing as this Lifestealer, especially once you run out of mana. Man, you're pretty damn useless. He's gonna go for a Midas though. It's gonna be the second Midas for the team, and I think that actually is going to enable him to go for this somewhat successfully.
Yeah, I think this is a good choice by Ace. Not sure if it's him or the team. I think the team might be like realizing that he kinda lost a lot trying to help his team, and he did do a lot though helping his team, but he's gonna struggle, and getting the Midas is gonna make up for that in like 50 minutes. And a smoke from OG. They don't have the Blink Bat though, but Fata is the hero that is very killable with a Batrider and Earth Spirit.
He's not going to have a lot of time to set up for napalm stacks. Fata does have a casual cloak right now, so he's not incredibly easy to kill. Well, Yapzor is incredibly easy to kill, although he will get a telekinesis off on the Batrider. Jack Firefly try to make a break for it, but he's going to get pulled in by the lasso. Still with the Hand of God now up on Puppey. They will get a lot of space here as S4 is going to get hit with a Sunstrike and the Scythe. Yapzor barely took any HP from that, and that is going to be a disastrous smoke gank there from OG. Yapzor still, of course, does have that Firefly for later, but that's just the downside of roaming around as a Batrider. You will have the Firefly, you'll have the lasso, but you don't actually do a lot of damage unless you have time to set up beforehand.
Yeah, they kinda, if they went for the same target, I think that could have worked out better. But as soon as there was a secondary hero there, it becomes a very hard gank, especially with, mid one landing a Sunstrike and then Scythe. That means an insta-kill on any hero right now. And mid one also split pushed. He got at least one tower top. I'm not sure if the other tower went down before, but that's
No,
a
it was
lot
actually
of map.
both.
Yeah, that's a lot of map control now suddenly given to Secret with just one failed smoke gank from OG. They have insane map control right now.
Ogre now at this point is just going to make this jungle his home. He won't have a Hand of God backup for a little while now, but still he's got the Midas ticking away. He can still push this lane in, and maybe not against Resolution necessarily, but if any one of these weaker heroes comes up towards top to defend it, mid one can so easily destroy them with a couple Forge Spirits, Sunstrike, Cold Snap, all that good stuff. So it's going to be really hard for OG to dislodge mid one from this top lane, and also looking at Puppey now does have that completed Midas. Is going to just power farm. I mean, already he's level 7, so he already has that level 4 Persuasion, not to mention the Hand of God, which came in pretty nicely there on the bottom lane. So, as you said, like, Ace might not be dominating farm-wise on the Lifestealer, but his allies are stepping up and then some.
Yeah, so I wonder if Secret has some sort of game plan now that's not farming. Because right now they're just farming on everyone, trying to farm as much as possible. But they are running a Shen lineup, so it kind of feels weird if they're not trying to get towers and stuff, like actively. They kind of got these top 2 towers kind of for free in a way, as in it was not them who made the move to get the towers. OG made a mistake and they just took the 2 towers. But I think this is kind of a Puppy's way to play Shen now, and maybe the way to play Shen overall. You're not gonna try and death push all the towers down. You're gonna play a bit more passive, kind of like how Brood has evolved nowadays, where you don't just dominate lane and try and solo win the game in 50 minutes. You can kind of play a bit safer.
A couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, if you went for this type of build as Chen, played like this, like you'd be kicked from a team so quickly because it just wouldn't work. But it is definitely a style that works nowadays. YapzOr, doing his best Batrider impression, is going to kill off those illusions, but they both got him. And now he's invisible with Firefly. And that's not really going to be doing him many favors here for sure, but he's going to run out of that spell anyway. But still smoked up on Puppy. YapzOr is invisible properly right now with the rune pickup. And they're going to look to make an aggressive play, perhaps into the opponent's jungle. Dota's also here, and they do have a scythe at the ready. Not quite sure if it's enough damage to kill off Resolution. Doesn't seem like they actually know that Resolution's there. They do know, however, that there's a hero over here, and it's Fly. They will just demolish the Witch Doctor. Super easy kill. And now they're kind of hoping that someone teleports in to defend.
Oh, Resolution?
Resolution is spotted now.
Oh, that was so close. YapzOr almost managed to lift him.
He's out of Invis too, so Resolution has a close brush with death. Jerax is not looking too hot either though. He's going to get lifted up by YapzOr. Sunstrike is going to be off the mark, but his rollout is kind of cancelled as they box him in. He'll kick Thada away, maybe deny that side, but still he's going to go down.
Yeah, they are going to get a tower from OG, no tail. He's take bottom tower, which is very important. Getting this bottom tower means a lot because you lost your top towers, so the opponent's gonna play on that map control. So if you get the bottom towers, you can kind of match that to an extent. That's very nice. And Resolution is defending mid lane pretty well, as that hero is known for.
Rubik's gonna grab a Dragon Slave for himself as Dota still does have that scythe. He's gonna keep shoving this one out. Is pretty much ready to fight. He does have that hood, and looks like Force Staff is the next item. Something a little bit more magically aggressive like the Veil, which is going to be just okay in this game if he is ever going to pick it up. So it does seem like Secret are gearing up for, you know, one of these plays that you would expect from a check, that actual death ball. And maybe not like suicide for the towers, but make a play, get a tower, rinse, repeat, and every single time you do that, you cut down on the Terrorblades options for farming, and of course Lina needs her farm. Batrider does have a Blink Dagger, so he doesn't really need that much farm moving forward, but it does seem like Secret are getting their tools up. They could make this play, but 3 Midas hands working for them. They just sit back and farm. Is there really any risk involved there? It does maybe feel like OG, they expect this coming their way, where in actuality they should be the ones making the aggressive plays with that.
Yeah, I think they have to almost do something soon on OG. Mid one is totally free farming, completely uncontested, and you know that sounds scary. You know, mid one Invoker free farming. Haven't really had any pressure on him for 17 minutes, so I mean, Resolution is matching his farm, so that's good. But oh, mid lane, this is a very weird goal.
Oh, again sees it coming. Telekinesis S4, and now S4. He doesn't have a Force Staff. Sunstrike is gonna land. YapzOr reflexes. I mean, did he get like spotted by the tower?
I mean, he was on the tower. I think that was sloppy. I think that was pretty sloppy by S4.
Well, either way, Blink Dagger over the tower to grab a Rubik, at least was supposed to be the play. Not quite going to work out the way they want, and that Blink Dagger now revealed. At least he still has that lasso, so there is going to be a little bit of a skirmish. They will still be ready for that, but Puppy, he's got himself a hood. He's going to go for a fight for the team. They're recognizing the heroes that are problematic right now. It's Resolution, mostly. They're going to roll in miss, but they do get the lasso off onto the Rubik, bring him down, but at what cost? Ace is going to tear into that Batrider. Now jump into Bada, who's just going to try to escape from No-Tail and Jerax with the Ghost Shroud. Not really sure if that's going to work, as Resolution is still here to do that damage. LSA and the right clicks, they'll take him down, and they'll take down Ace. Off to the side, Puppy will try to TP. Looks like he'll survive this creep. Goon Squad, 1 creep, 2 creep, 3 goes down. They save the Centaur. And that is once again a fight where mid one is farming, but OG make a pretty nice turnaround, and look at a tier 1 tower for it.
Radiant's middle
Yeah, nice play from OG. They realized mid one is out on an adventure trying to kill Fly, and Fly managed to survive by just using a Sunstrike. Mid one used the Sunstrike for that kill, so he can't use it in team fight either. And that was a really nice play from OG. The battle they died, but that's whatever. And the solution is he is snowballing as well. Oh, and he
that's a lot
should
of
tank
damage.
this. Oh, Sunstrike. A nice attempt, but it wouldn't have been enough. So Resolution is top of the net worth, which is pretty impressive considering how much mid one has done. You know, he took 2 tower top lane, he's free farming, and Resolution has been on a much smaller area to farm, but the hero is very good at farming as well, you know, just dragon slaving and using Fairy Soul, you farm very fast. So he's gonna be forced to have a lot of impact in this game, and also No-Tail is having a comeback now. He was not this high in net worth a few minutes ago, and he's really starting to climb.
Secret are going to stick to the game plan here. Fada now has a Blink Dagger of his own, and this fight, unlike the last, will have everyone here from Secret, mid one, joining the smoke party. They also do have that fight completed, so a large increase in power. Despite having dropped that last fight, still Secret are feeling pretty comfortable around the map, but you gotta remember that OG have their increase in power as well. It's one stone up to 15 charges. We have a Blink Dagger on the Earth Spirit. Pretty quickly, Scythe immediately onto S4. Will get the kill. That is not a Scythe kill, but still, that's a Batrider down, which means that as far as negation is concerned, OG really only have this Earth Spirit to start it. Do you really want to roll into all these heroes as Earth Spirits? I'm not really sure if that's the best idea.
Yeah, they're gonna get a free tower here. And OG are not doing much on other lanes. They're getting farm, but they're not pressuring any objectives. And now Roche becomes a lot easier. Both towers in mid and top are down, and Roche is very hard to contest. There's a shrine up, but having only a shrine to be TPing to is gonna be pretty simple to deal with from Secret. As OG's initiation is kind of lackluster. You know, they have a Batrider, but he only has a blink. Doesn't have like a 4-step to get around Roche Pit in a smooth way. Yarax has a blink, which is, I think, the bigger deal almost. I feel like Yarax's biggest snatches I've seen before. Bottom lane, oh, this could be an...
Oh, that read.
Oh
The sentry's out of
my
range.
god.
Wow, there is no vision anywhere here for the Radiant. Like, they are just completely blind in their own jungle, but Invoker was going back to base, so sometimes you just ghost walk back to the base, and with the read that no one else is on the map anywhere, and that they might be going down towards them, Mid1 is gonna keep himself alive. You know, add Shadowblade Lina to the top of the list of tools to initiate right now for OG, but not that time. Looks like they may smoke up under a dire obs. I mean, even if they don't smoke right now, it's still the Dire seeing absolutely everything with this really deep observable. You don't expect this one, given the circumstance. I believe someone just pinged out. The likes just jumped into this Necrophos, and they will smoke out eventually. I'm not sure if they moved out of range and then smoked, but either way, they're still looking. I'm not really sure if there are any opportunities nearby, though.
Yeah, Secret are playing this. This is a pretty weird smoke by them, as in like they infested Fada and he didn't join the smoke. So it's a pretty peculiar one, but OG's reaction is just to get out completely, which says that they are very scared of Secret right now. If they felt like they were like a very good match, I think they would have been more cocky and know, okay, they smoke, we set up on our high ground somewhere on a shrine or whatever, and then we play from there. But they're gonna go for their own counter smoke, and it seems like Secret kinda has an idea as well, you know.
Grouped up. If OG go up into this area, they're going to be walking into a funnel up against an Invoker. That is not a good idea. You already saw how much damage Invoker can do with a combo on the Lina. They will run into Fada first. He does grab his Relic though, so he dies on a big deal. He also has the good.
He's
on the barrier with Hand of God. He will get Death Warded as well, and finally will go down. Is there any response here from Secret? Firefly already on the deck. They could in theory go for a play. They will steal Conjure Image. Oh yeah, it's time to right-click things with Rubik.
Oh,
He'll
no
catch
tail?
the Terrorblade out in a bad position with the Rock, do a lot of damage to him, and Jarek's right behind him. Jarek is gonna die to the dots. As no
Oh, he
tail,
got hit by
he's
EMP,
out
he
of
has no mana.
He got hit with the EMP, and now he can't actually sunder anything. Fly's gonna try to keep him alive with that heal, but he's gonna put himself at a lot of risk in doing so. No tail is going to actually not get hit with that ice wall, but still he doesn't have any mana, so I don't see how he's gonna get away from this one, especially when the Sunstrike doesn't even matter. Ace gets the kill. And for Secrets, that was kind of a freebie, honestly. It does feel like OG had a free passage out, or they could have continued fighting as long as No Tail isn't the one in the front.
Yeah. Oh, Farah, are you gonna get a kill on S4? The thing is that if he has mana for Sunder, you know, there's no way Secret fights into that. But because the EMP hits, even though it's not a very high level yet, it just means he can't Sunder. And then it's pretty easy fight for Secret. They can just chase. They know that there's not gonna be this insane counterplay that Ace has to play super scared of. Even mid one has to be somewhat scared of it. So they don't have any arcanes, I think, at all. So I wonder if he should try and counter it a bit. So I feel like mid one is gonna be playing a bit around EMP now that he's getting very up level. You generally just go for Tornado EMP. And, I think it's a bit scary for Notail to not have a response to that.
It is not even... How do I get rid of this? It's not even maxed out just yet, that EMP, but as the Wex is built up, Terrorblade, I guess the way you play around it is by what he's doing right now. You can't really depend on your allies to disassemble all their boots and start getting arcanes, although that would be like the dream scenario. He's just going to build stat items, and you know, value stat items. I have Scotty on the Terrorblade is still an entirely normal build. Having more intelligence, making sure that EMP doesn't completely drain him out. It's a pretty decent way to go for sure, but it's going to take him quite a long time to actually get those items up. Hive Scotty is not a cheap item. So
I mean, if he
for
gets
right now,
18...
it seems like Secret do have this kind of ace in the hole in that EMP. If it does land on the Terrorblade, and if he spent any mana beforehand, which he will, on X-Style, Metamorphosis, like, it's not that hard to burn him out, and OG have to be careful about that Invoker. He's been farming the entire game, and this is kind of the situation they've got themselves in because of the lack of pressure on mid one.
If he can get 18 though, he is fine, but he's not farming. In experience, he's not doing great. He's keeping up in network, but he's kind of underleveled, I guess. He's not super underleveled, but he kind of wish he was like 17 or close to 17 by now. So he needs to kind of rush for that before they take team fight, which is kind of a weird thing, you know, or Terrorblade like, I need my level 3 ultimate before we can fight. But that's kind of the situation he's in.
We are not going to wait on top lane at least. They'll jump in towards the Chen. Pipe seemingly doesn't matter there, as they will just annihilate him with that Lina damage. Bottom lane is being pushed by mid one, very similar to the situations we saw earlier where Secret leaving mid one to his own devices and, you know, making some, we'll call those trades elsewhere, but all this Midas gold, man. It's been a long time since they've been picked up at this point. Lifestealer, the roaming Lifestealer, yes, has the Maelstrom and the Armlet. Vada's got the Radiance, so he has his, like, kind of Midas item as well for helping him farm, and of course Chen does have that pipe, and mid one has, like, all the items he could ever want ever, so this sitting back and farming style for Secret is working out pretty well for them. Just looking at this net worth, like, yeah, they took a couple of decent fights earlier, but they're still just climbing and climbing in gold. And for OG, Resolution's doing pretty well for himself. He can keep up in farm. No Tail can keep up in farm, but there's really not that much room for anyone else. Like, Blink Dagger on Jerax is most likely all he's going to get unless he, like, survives a big fight.
Yeah, it's gonna... I think Resolution needs to do some heavy lifting right now. Petrider got the 4 step though, finally, I might add. The network difference is starting to become a bit troubling for OG. However, I think they definitely have a good chance at this game still, but the Secret has picked up the core items. You know, the Radiance, Necro, Lifestealer got the, like, base of items that he kind of needs to actually kill people at this stage. And mid one has got the Blink Ags POT, so he can both pressure lanes and teamfight pretty well. And are they going for a smoke play? They do not seem to have a smoke on them though, so they're just gonna run in apparently. or he's getting a smoke option. It seems a bit rushed, as in they should have been smoking here.
Bada and Yapzor still will move up towards top lane. Blink Dagger on the Necrophos, Blink Dagger on the Rubik, getting anywhere near someone and they are going to very quickly go down. Not really your Storm Spirit Lifestealer combo, but it's budget, it'll work in a pinch.
Radiant's
Poke around a little bit, OG will dodge that one in its entirety. They are pushing down this bottom lane slowly but surely. Resolution, though, not feeling comfortable enough to actually hit this tower. I don't think he really should. I think he'd probably get away with it, honestly. Just a couple shots, what could it really hurt? He is just making sure that these lanes are keeping in OG's favor, just keeping Secret back. It does feel like, though, it's a matter of time before I expect it'll be Secret to go in for that Roche Pit first. Play some obs, maybe get a pick off if they can. Like a Batrider kill will be huge. No, Batrider is actually.
Oh, is he gonna blink over? Bata blinks over. That's what was standing there a second ago. But the game has slowed down a lot, and it doesn't really favor a particular team. I think the Midas doesn't really have more farm potential right now at this stage. It kind of did its job, and now it's just nice. Like Dina is gonna outfarm an Invoker, even though Invoker is having Midas. Oh, he's very far up on his group. He has the BKB though.
He's gonna have to pop it, I think. He's gonna get pushed right back.
Oh my god, Mid-1 is playing so well.
This is all blind here from Mid-1. Sunstrike attempted. Dina is going to narrowly get out of that tornado range as well, and we'll just get out of there, preserving that 10-second BKB charge. But, man, Resolution, Mid-1 doing some serious damage by not having the vision. This has been like at least 2 minutes now where Secret have been balled up as 4 or 5 heroes and not really doing all that much. And as I say that, they will immediately jump to that Roach Pit. Double damage on Lifestealer to facilitate this, but No Tail is going to send the clone in and immediately scout this out. Secrets, they definitely do have a powerful fight in this area, but answering the Batrider again is going to be very, very difficult, especially if it is Yapzor himself to get grabbed by S4. Right now, Fod is the only one presenting an S4. By having that Force Staff, doesn't look like he's super interested in going in right now.
No, he has to use Firefly. You don't want to initiate if you don't have Firefly, unless it's like an insane, like it's so good that you have to go. But the game is very slow right now. Both teams are making some minor moves, or Secret are making some minor moves to find pickoffs, but they're not. They haven't used the smoke in some time, you know. If they use smoke, it would be they could go a bit deeper, but they're just hoping to find someone without using the smoke and then getting a free Roche. But OG has been playing not only safe, but they played safe, but they managed to farm at the same time, which is pretty good for them. And another time,
grabbed by S4, the fight is going to help him quite a bit as Bada does jump in right into the middle of things. Puppey will go down, Hand of God now off the table. Ace is going to try to gun for fly, but doesn't actually have any true sight. But it's going to take quite a bit of damage from the Invoker as well. BKB, though, will be able to slip out and is in the back. It's Ace by himself getting picked off as the Ice Wall and the Laguna Blade stolen by Yapzor, which will kill off No Tail, and they'll also drop fly, but at the cost of Bada. Yapzor Mid-1, the sole survivors here as they do very aggressively look for some of those fights, and they'll maybe find S4, and Force Staff just gets him up to the high ground. Resolution is still here. He thinks Invis is going to keep him safe. He's going to take a lot of damage. Pushed back by the Deafening Blast. A couple more right clicks will do him in. Actually does end up killing himself. But Secret, that Sentry and Obs combo dropping a little bit too late to get that Lifestealer some of those early kills, and is going to cost them quite a bit there.
Yeah, that was a pretty good team fight from Secret. Especially, I think Rubik played very well, and Mid-1, of course. Terrible was scarily close to actually getting a Sunra off, and if he did, I'm pretty sure Secret would have gotten wiped. So they did realize they could blow him up, and they did, and hope the follow-up and the initiation was, or I guess the reactive play from Secret was decent at least, and then they coordinated well enough to blow a Turbid up, which is not always easy in a other fight like that. But OG do show some sign of life, and it's also scary, you know. If he gets a Sunra up there, I'm pretty sure they get wiped. So Secret has to play according to that. But there's a Linkus on Mid-1 as well, so that's also, you have to be super scared about that, because he is definitely the type of player that could realize who is gonna Sunra and place it on the hero even.
There's also a pretty ideal scenario there for OG as far as initiation is concerned. Would be, I think, grabbing Yapsor. Hasn't really worked out so far, but grabbing Puppey, making sure that all these auras that he's offering to his team are off the table. No inside aura, no barrier for his team. I think it's just a personal barrier from the pipe, and of course, no God. It's a lot of assets that Secret has at their disposal, just completely off the table first thing. So if S4 can replicate that a handful more times, then hey, he'll be pretty clean state of game. The BKB on him, he'll make it, it's almost impossible for Secret to actually do anything about a lasso play. Scythe can stun, but I'm pretty sure that's just a fight-losing move. You just use Scythe to cancel a Batrider's initiation, and you don't have it afterwards with no ags or anything like that. So Secret do have to watch out, do have to keep their obs up, and they will look to smoke in. Did Yapsor just break his smoke? Yeah. Does the Laguna Blade, and I guess we'll call this a Rubik fading.
I mean, it's fine. You don't have to 5-man smoke. I think 4-man smoking is generally better. S4, does he want
find
to...
a target nearby. There's a bat, there's a Terrorblade, just illusions for right now. Fly's in a pretty vulnerable spot right now. And they will catch him with the Cold Snap. They do silence the Invoker, but it doesn't matter. He's super dead. Puppey's charging forward.
Bata.
And Bata is as well with the Ghost Shroud, slowing down a handful of heroes. Ace is going to pop out. S4 is going to Force Staff out without using a lasso. And with a Tornado on him, he may just go down to that Scythe now, onto the Terrorblade. Sunstrike there as well. Will not connect. Will be a force buyback onto the Fly as on the high ground. He is going to do quite a bit of damage to the Death Warp. We can see now the difference that a Chen makes. With the Hand of God, will keep them all fairly healthy. Laguna Blade still stolen. Will end up killing off No Tail, Fodder with the Ghost Shroud. Trying to slip out right now. Jarak, he is going to keep that Magnetize on the enemies, but it's not doing quite enough with that Insight Aura. They'll try to go for the Life Stealer, but end up giving over another spell towards Yapsor. Resolution on the front lines. Oh, that dodge of the Laguna Blade from Yapsor. We said earlier, he's an above average Rubik player.
That was brutal. What an outplay from Yapsor. Not only, you know, dodging the Laguna Blade, but the Laguna Blade to kill Terrorblade earlier. That was a pleasure to watch for sure. And I was gonna say that Secret like initiation. They're not having an easy time to fight, but then mid one is like, okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna kill a hero here, and then you can do whatever. And they just kinda overrun OG, but unfortunately S4 kinda had to just try and get over the high ground, and he did. But mid one is, I think mid one and Yapsor are just playing way above the even like average for the top pros. Oh, what a reaction skill from mid one.
Sidesteps the LSA. Ice Wall though is off the mark. Yapsor will fix that as he throws Resolution right back in. There is no suicide, there's no BKB. There is only death for Resolution. They will kind of show off mid one's gem, but it's going to be certainly well worth it. Getting rid of all those Observer Sentries that were hanging around the mid lane. You know, a pretty easy clear out there. Lina does have quite a few Bloodstone charges, so respawn timer not going to be too bad for her, but it does seem like Secret now with this double life on the Necrophos, thinking about making a little more of an aggressive play. We have another Life Stealer Wild Wing gank pacing around looking for some opportunities. And one is going to set up for this bottom lane. Looks like they're just going to try to make this their home, and at this point it seems like it is pretty much all in the hands of S4 and No Tail's Sunder. If they land those spells, they have a shot, but otherwise, it's looking pretty darn rough against the Sages.
Yeah, I think Yapsor is kind of like becoming too scary in a weird way. You know, the position 5 Rubik is too scary, but that's kind of what's approaching for OG now. Where sure they can they can blow up a core now, but even then you are very far behind. Even the supports are having a very, very high impact at this stage. And Puppey doesn't have any. He has like aura items, so he's not doing like insane things like Yapsor and mid one. But he's still probably the hero you have to kill first. So it's easier for Secret to play around because Puppey has to die.
So easy to disrespect.
Oh, top lane.
Value they have on the board. They will
Can they follow up?
Top, so the lasso, they'll bring him back.
They messed up.
Yeah, they don't quite have enough CC and damage. He wants to survive and fly.
Bottom lane.
Left behind by his allies. They all were on top lane partying. He was left alone at home. He'll bad.
Mid one can't
Maybe
TP.
catch the Rubik here. That's a self-fuel gonna blink out. Now it's gonna set up perfectly. This damage from Lina though is being mostly blocked by the auras from Puppey. They still will finally kill off the Rubik in the end. EKB and Resolution rolling off right now, but the Scythe will put a quick end to that Terror Blade. Resolution now the only one who's really doing damage, and with the nukes from the Chen will get kicked out by Jerax.
Oh yeah.
Still is hit with that cold snap, but it looks like out of Radiance range. We'll be able to make it back to her fountain. S4 though maybe doesn't have that luxury. Force staff down to the low ground now. We live in a mirror world, seems like, for this fight. S4 blinking away from his base, away from any help. Maybe he's just gonna waste some time, but he's being chased down by an Invoker, a pissed off Invoker at that. Unstoppable for mid one, and Ace and Fada in the meantime both very healthy after having very quickly dealt with that Terror Blade. Will deal with bottom lane Rax, and maybe even a second lane. Puppey still has his entire army alive. I don't know how he does it, but they will go for 2, and with no Terror Blade 50, I don't know if they have enough damage here. Fada, he doesn't have another Scythe or anything like that, but man, they don't really need a Scythe. There's no Terror Blade to need to Scythe down. They'll just be happy going in with perhaps another Infest or another Deafening Blast combo on mid one, just to make the conservative play and fall back for right now.
They are still sitting in on Aegis on Farah, so they might be gonna re-go soon. Most of the time I think you would go and kill Shrines here, but with the Aegis still intact, there is definitely a timing they could go for.
Their position is perfectly spotted by OG's creep wave. OG still have a couple more seconds now until their Terror Blade is up. We'll have a buyback as well. Yapzor is the hero that they're waiting for, and he's back. Try to wait for someone to defend the bottom lane perhaps and jump on him. Fada's definitely thinking about it, but Resolution. BKB jump in, Scythe. No BKB available here. 100 seconds, Lina is dead. Fada is going to get lassoed, but his Aegis is going to mean that they don't have to actually go and save him. They can let him die. At least for right now, and you have a BKB for a second life. They buy out on Resolution, and Fada may need some help here. The stuns are going to land perfectly on the mark. BKB not used just yet. It's a little bit too late. That's why with the damage will take him down, but now they have to deal with everyone else. Mid one is in the front lines right now, not where he wants to be. He's going to get caught with the stuns and will be brought down, giving the gem over to OG. Rolling forward, looking for more. Yapzor is going to reflect up. Pretty much everyone has a blink out of here. Maybe, no, can't quite get it out. Now they're on to the Lifestealer as well. They lift him up. Ace going to try to TP out of here. Lasso's not available. They sunder him for damage. It's not going to do enough. They do take down a hell of a lot there, OG, but the cost is high. They lose mid-racks, and they do have to buy back on the Lina.
The upside is that they still have meta though, so this push is not gonna be. It's not gonna take a long time. This is gonna be a lot of damage coming towards Secret now, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be forced to buy back. But the question is how many and who. That's I think it should be mid one right now, and they wait for the other.
There it is. This is an Arcane Rune's Terror Blade. With even more illusions, you'll have another Metamorphosis sooner. See what mid one can do. Invoker is pretty much the king of defending high ground.
Oh, Ace is caught.
Barrett is actually going to jump in on someone else instead. It's the Lifestealer. He is in a lot of trouble, but with the rage, we'll actually consider turning around onto Jerax. Not quite enough damage there. Disarm goes off on a no-tail Resolution as well. They're getting bottled up here in this choke point. Sunstrike does land perfectly onto the Terror Blade, but no more chase. No, there is chase. Mid one gonna blink forward, finds the poor Witch Doctor. And
he's not
get
done
taken
with
down
that.
by the summons. They're also looking at no-tail, trying to TP out, kick out from Jerax. Will prevent them from actually stunning him. That's gonna cost Jerax his life, but Jerax, not to be outdone by Yapzor's clutch plays, is going to make a clutch play of his own, securing them their Terror Blade. Mid one, though, still wants in on S4, who is going to have that gem to give over. Back to Secret.
No buyback on him.
Yeah, he doesn't have a buyback, so it's just 2, maybe 3 versus 5 right now, as Secret are going to push in once more, perhaps to finish off that mid-racks. So we do have Fada. His Radiance is on with the Shadow Blade, which is not exactly sneaky. But still, this is going to be really tough for OG to defend against. We'll have the Witch Doctor buyback as well, but just 15 seconds respawn. It will actually extend it. This range rack was pretty much forfeit anyway, so I'm not entirely sure that timing was really what they want, but the Secret, they do want everything right now. They're going to look for the Megas versus the LSA. Will land it onto Ace. The Wheel Blade can do quite a bit of damage, but it will be stolen once again by Yapzor. Ace with the auras from Puppey will just take no damage from that Lina's right click. And he also has that AC, of course. He will be able to slip out to safety, provide a little more damage with that Assault Cuirass. For his team to right-click down these buildings. Spada gonna jump right in the sight onto the No-Tail Terror Blade. They'll take him down with the Laguna Blade, perfectly layered onto him. He's down for 100 seconds. They may bring down Ace, they may not, but ultimately it doesn't even matter because Resolution, he's gonna have to kill himself as Jerax is gonna run off to the backside of the fight. He will survive, but his base will not. The game will be ended in favor of Secret. My god, you jump in, you sight a Terror Blade, and then you drop everything on him, including a Laguna Blade stolen. Yeah, it works pretty well.
Yeah, even though I think they had a lack of initiation potential in Secret, they kind of